Speaking of hilarious, next up is Sabrina. I heard she's hilarious. I'm looking forward to it. You better make me laugh. Big hand for Sabrina, everybody. Pay attention.
I don't know what to do about this. So, yeah, good times. Spring break, woohoo! Anybody else enjoying have their kids home 24/7? Anybody else? Anybody else enjoying that as much as I am? So loving it. So it's funny, I had somebody mention to me earlier, I gotta unwind this, sorry, OCD. Had someone mention to me earlier, when I brought up my haircut, that they were really glad that I did because, you know, they didn't want to seem rude or stare, but yes, I have a mohawk. It took me 40 years to realize that I could get a mohawk because I wanted to, because I'm a girl and I could do what I want. And it's funny because a couple people asked me why, and I'm gonna be honest with you. My hair's really heavy, and I don't like it. And removing a third of it has completely changed the way I clean my shower drains. So, little pluses. But also, I was immensely inspired. I know it's been a couple years now, but anybody here seen Wonder Woman? I'm not gonna spoil it for people. Okay, good. So, you know that scene where she's in the trenches and she's getting ready to go and climb the ladder, and she's like, they're like, no, it's impossible, and she's like, but we have to, and everyone's like, no, and she goes to climb the ladder, and she goes to put the diadem in her hair, and she takes down her perfectly serviceable bun to run across no man's land. And I'm like, all right, so I grew up in California, and when girls started fighting, the first thing they did was take all their friends' rings and put their hair up. Because the first thing you're gonna do is grab a bitch by her hair, and I mean, that's just the way it works as a girl fights, right? So I'm watching all these superhero movies, and I'm watching The Avenger and fucking Scarlett Johansson doing these flips with this long ponytail, and I'm like, how come nobody is just like, don't, no bitch. So yeah, I cut my hair so no one can do that to me. That's my story, I'm sticking to it. So yeah, high school, good times. My kid's starting to get a little stressed out. He's in 8th grade now, and he's telling me he's getting a little worried about going to high school and how different it's going to be. And I'm like, oh God, I wish I had those problems again. Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful? But you know, it's so different now because, God damn it, these educators these days, I have a serious problem with educators these days. They're giving our kids way too much self-esteem. You know, like, my kid calls me, and I know y'all know this, I absolutely love the marijuana. So, as a stand-up comedian, obviously I am mentally unstable, therefore I have a counselor. I was leaving counseling, and all I'm thinking is, joint when I get home. Joint when I get home. Pre-rolled it, it's waiting, joint when I get home. Come out of the thing, pick up my phone. Because I'm a good person, I put it on silent when I'm in my session. Also, I want the attention on me. Thank you, that's why I do this also. I mean, duh. So, I get out, I look at my phone, and there's like a 1.5-minute message. And I'm like, that's a fucking school number, god damn it. So I listen to the message. Hi Mom, it's me. I hope your appointment went well. I'm in the principal's office. I'm gonna need a ride home. I really love you. I hope you're having a good day. Just on and on for 1.5 minutes. No information. Just, I love you, I missed the bus, I'm in the principal's office. Fucking hell, this is a stoner parent's worst fucking nightmare. To either not be high enough at the school, or not be able to get high before you go to the school, or being too high when you're at the school. It's a trifecta. But, so I'm on my way there, and I'm just like, this kid is getting in the way of my joint. There's a reason he rides the bus. God, what's the principal gonna say? Am I gonna be able to stay calm because my joint is at home? I knew I should have brought it with me. God damn it, Sabrina. All the things that I talked to my therapist about next week. So I get there and I walk up to the front counter and they're like, yes, can we help you? And I said, yes, I'm here for my son. Oh, Oh yeah, we'll go get him. He's back in the principal's office still. I'm like, still, fuck, god damn, what the hell did he do? Because I mean, in my day, you didn't get called to the principal's office for good shit. They didn't keep you back there and talk to you for good shit. Okay, so I have no frame of reference for what's coming. Kid walks out. Hey, Mom, let me grab a backpack. Starts to walk off. Principal comes up and says, hey, wait a minute, Rogan. Why don't you stay right here? First mistake. Bitch, let him go. You don't need to hear this? I just have to tell you, your son is just a joy. He is so smart and so intelligent, and he has such a fresh take on things. I'm really sorry he missed the bus, but we were just so involved in a conversation. It's really my fault. They could have gotten an email, bitch. You didn't need to hear that from you. I'm trying to keep this kid humble enough to understand that he does not deserve all the things I do for him. If he gets dinner, damn right he's doing the dishes. You don't deserve anything but the food. The fact that I prepared it for you, that was extra. Okay? So, yeah, no, these educators these days, they're giving him way too much self-esteem. And like back in my day, I remember I learned how to do makeup in the locker room after PE from all of the weras. We learned the trick with the lighter and the lip liner and the eyeliner. They got fucking YouTube tutorials. Bitches are like 12 years old, like, I'm learning contouring. Fucking hell, when I was 12, I was still out trying to fucking make bricks like they did in the fucking 10 Commandments. Come on, we got grass, we got mud, we can do it. The hell? I mean, I guess I'm just part of that generation that has such a really hard time because, I mean, I listened to 8-tracks as a child. I remember Betamax. And now I said something to my friend while my son was in hearing range about MP3s, and he's like, what about MP4s, Mom? God damn it, how many MPs are there? I don't even know anymore. Does it stop at 4? Is there 5 or 6 now? Because I'm still like changing the disc in my 6-disc CD changer in my car and feeling fancy, okay? Yeah, I have some issues being a 90s kid, and they became a lot more apparent when I went to California this last year because there was some twist of fate that every time I hit seek on the radio, it started playing some 90s song, and I was having this weird trippy, like, did I even leave? Am I still here? Because, I mean, everything is just so different now. I remember waiting every Sunday for the Wonderful World of Disney to come on. And if your sister's hollering, it's on! They always give you time to come to the bathroom because they come back with a little dee-dee-dee, you know, and so you hear it and you're like, hurry up, flush and run. And now we're like, oh, I got Disney Plus. I can stream whatever I want. I can watch it anytime. Like, I don't know what to do with all of this information that we're constantly inundated with. It's just, it's making me a little bit crazy. Like, everything old is new again. Like, in the 90s, everyone was doing jazzercise, and now they're doing Zumba. What's the difference? No, literally, can someone tell me what's the difference? Is it the outfits? Is that it? I'm just not 100% sure on that. But I remember I was, excuse me. I'm sorry about that. I made the coughing, I swear, is from weed. It's not corona. But no, I remember I was in the grocery store. God, it must have been last year sometime, and I was just looking at stuff, and it just, you know how things hit you out of the blue? Just randomly, you realize that, hey, ice cream says 1.5 quarts. It used to be 2 quarts. That's weird. Huh. Yogurt is 6 ounces. It used to be 8 ounces. And it used to have lids. That's weird. So I was just having this little moment about, like, isn't it weird how yogurts don't have lids anymore? And the cashier was like, when did yogurts have lids? And that's when I realized I was old, because he was probably like 16, and his whole life, yogurts never had lids. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it was the 90s, honey. Everybody had jobs, and yogurt had lids. It was a beautiful time. Personally, I enjoyed that.
I'm going to stare for a second.
Oh, man. But yeah, this next month is, I feel like it's going to be a big month. it's funny, I've been thinking a lot about age and aging and timing of things, and my birthday's next month, and I've been telling everybody, so they say like 30 is the new 40, 40 is the new 50, and I'm like, bitches, you got it backwards. They told me when I was 30 that I had like the back of a 40-year-old, and I did not take that as a compliment. So, yeah, I came up with this thing a few years back, and it's helped me out a lot because it's really validated me, which is what's important. You know what I mean? My feelings, it's validated me, because that's what it's all about. But I started telling people, I remember when I turned 36, I told people I was going to be 46, just to see their reaction. Because I knew if I said, oh, it's like the 7th anniversary of my 29th birthday, everyone's like, bitch, you ain't 29. Maybe you need to slow some shit down. So I was like, wait a minute. If we go older and they think we look younger, or at worst case, they think we look our age, nobody's hurt, right? So fuck the patriarchy. I'm gonna be 51 next month. And I think I look damn good for 51, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, we're 40, girl.
See, this is what I'm talking about. It's nothing but good for the self-esteem. I had a girlfriend who looked at me, and first time I told her that, she was like, but that would mean I would tell people I was 63. And I said, damn, girl, you look good for 63. What's your secret? She goes, oh, I can do that. Okay. So I think we need to start this trend. Everyone age up. Okay? Females, lie about your age. Lie about it. Lie up. It's way more believable. Also, mature women know more. So there's that. Yeah, no, but it's been weird because, like, you know, back in my day, you met people in this thing called real life. You know, like you could go out places and like hang out, or your friends introduced you to people, and you figure out who to date or who to go out with because like so and so is like, you know, friends with so and so, whatever. You meet someone at the club, and now they got all these like apps and shit, and I'm like, hold on, let me get my other glasses. No, that looks like somebody I know. No. It's fucking Alaska, dude. How many times can you swipe? I mean, like, I don't understand this. So I have a really hard time with, like, the whole dating idea. I mean, like, there's only, like, 30 people in the pool, right? So you're just like, I said no! Motherfucker, I said no! Okay, but then after, like, what, 100 times, you're like, maybe. Okay. No, I joke. But it's funny because I actually had someone was like, yeah, like, we should hang out. We should totally like Netflix and chill. And I'm like, that sounds awesome. Yeah, let's put a movie on. Sounds great. And then this motherfucker tried to start like making the moves on me, and I'm like, shh, movie, chill, movie. Am I missing something here? It's just me. It's fine. But yeah, I don't get a lot of the things that are going on these days. I was not single for way too long to understand this whole mindset. I remember moving up here and getting on Yahoo Chat to talk to my friends there in California, if that gives you an idea about my age. And so this whole like, you know, getting on apps and looking at people and like filling out profiles, and it's just so weird. Is it just me? It just feels weird. But then I was like, you know, the generation that said they would never go out in public in pajama pants. So there's that too. I feel like this really weird sense of like dichotomy in my personality sometimes because some of you know, some of you don't. I was raised Jehovah's Witness, so I was raised with these ultra conservative views that I've been fighting against like my entire life. But there was this whole thing of like, you had to look proper, your appearances had to be proper. And I'm going to share with you guys my last little thought. A joke I told to a friend of mine who told me I had to tell it because this is the reason I started doing stand-up at literally the lowest point of my life. I had lost my daughter, I was in the hospital, I was getting out of the hospital. And like I said, I had grown up with this idea of like, you get dressed to go out of the house, you're not in sweats, you're not in pajama pants. And I get discharged from the hospital and try to hit all the drive-through pharmacies. Nobody has anything, so of course I have to go to Walmart. Guess what they checked me out wearing? Bright pink, white, and black snowflake pajama pants. So at the worst point of my life, the lowest when I thought I would never smile again, I was sitting in Walmart, looked at my lap, and literally started laughing like a hyena. Because never say never, people. I said I'd never get up here. And here we are 3 years later. I'm mind blown. But anyways, thank you very much. I hope everyone has a great night. Yay, Palmer.